In a world shaped by power, alliances, and rivalry, one tool stands out as the invisible force driving decisions and shaping opinions: storytelling. Beyond economics, military strength, or diplomacy, it is the power of compiling narratives that often decides the fate of nations. Today, we are driving into a fascinating role of storytelling in geopolitics and how it continues to shape our world. Humans are hardwired for stories. From ancient myths to modern day media, narratives gives meaning to our world. In geopolitics, storytelling isn't just about entertainment. It's a strategic weapon. It frames national identity, legitimizes actions, and rallies people behind causes. When Martin Luther King Jr. spoke of a dream, it wasn't just a call for civil rights, it was a narrative that shaped America's soul. Similarly, countries use stories to define who they are, what they stand for, and why they matter on the world stage. The United States has long been associated with the ideals of freedom, democracy, and opportunity. These principles are at the core of its national narrative, shaping how Americans perceive themselves and how the world views America. But the power of the story goes far beyond symbolism. It has been a driving force behind America's domestic cohesion and its global influence. However, America's story has not been without contradictions. While it champions liberty and equality, its history is also marked by slavery and inequality. Yet it is precisely in addressing these contradictions that America's narratives evolve and finds renewed strength. The civil rights movement, for example, reframed the national story, reaffirming its commitment to justice and equal opportunity for all. The idea of American dream that anyone, regardless of their background, can achieve success through hard work has been one of America's most powerful narratives. It has drawn millions to its shore and inspired countless innovations. This story of opportunity has been a cornerstone of its soft power, making America a symbol of hope for people around the globe. America's cultural storytelling, particularly through Hollywood, music, and media, has further amplified its influence. Movies like The Schindler's List and Captain America don't just entertain, they reinforce the nation's ideals of justice and resilience. Through these stories, America exports its values, shaping perceptions far beyond its borders. Innovation is another key element of America's story. The narrative of being a land of pioneers extends from frontier spirit of 19th century to the technological revolutions of the 21st. Achievements like the Apollo moon landing and the rise of Silicon Valley reinforces the idea that America is a place where bold dreams can become reality. Ultimately, the United States narrative is not just about its past accomplishments. It's about the idea that the story of America is still being written. It is this openness to reinvention that ensures this narrative remains a powerful force in shaping its future and role in the world. Meanwhile, China's geopolitical story is rooted in its identity as one of the world's oldest continuous civilization. Its national narrative weaves together ancient cultural achievements, historical resilience, and modern vision of rejuvenation. The story, known as the Chinese Dream, serves as a blueprint for its domestic ambitions and global strategy. For centuries, China saw itself as a middle kingdom, a country of culture, philosophy, and innovation. The legacy of Confucianism, with its emphasis on harmony, order, and respect for authority, remains deeply ingrained in China's political and social fabric. This heritage forms the foundation of its soft power, as it seeks to position itself from the modern leader that respects its ancient roots. But China's national story is also marked by what it's called the Century of Humiliation, a period from mid-19th century to mid-20th century, when it faced foreign invasions, colonial exploitations, and internal turmoil. This era profoundly shaped China's modern identity, fostering a collective resolve to reclaim its sovereignty and restore its rightful place on the global stage. The turning point came in the late 20th century under Deng Xiaoping reforms, which redefined China's story. Embracing capital-oriented policies while maintaining political control, China framed itself as a nation uniquely capable of blending socialism and capitalism. The narrative of economic transformation became central to its rise, lifting over 800 million people out of poverty and building an economy that now rivals the United States. From popularity of Chinese technology brands to global appeal of material arts and cuisines, China uses this cultural heritage to enhance its global image. However, China's narrative is not without contentions. Its assertiveness in South China Sea and tensions over Taiwan reflects a story of territorial integrity and historical claims. With these actions resonate domestically as a defense of sovereignty, they have sparked international criticism, challenging China's portrayal as a peaceful global leader. Ultimately, China's story is one of transformation, from a civilization that shaped history to a modern power shaping the future. By combining its rich heritage with its ambition for innovation and global leadership, China continues to craft a narrative that inspires its citizens and influences the world. During times of war or conflict, storytelling becomes a critical tool for legitimacy. Propaganda isn't just about misinformation, it's about crafting a compelling narrative that justifies action and rallies support. Take the Iraq War as an example. The US framed its invasion as a mission to eliminate weapons of mass destruction and promote democracy. While the weapons never materialized, the story justified military intervention to the American public and allied nation. In the Russia-Ukraine conflict, narratives have been pivotal. Russia describes its invasion as a special military operation to protect Russian-speaking minorities and counter NATO expansion. On the other hand, Ukraine and its allies frame it as a heroic struggle for sovereignty and democracy. These competing narrative influences global opinion and political alignments. Storytelling isn't just about politics, it's deeply embedded in culture. Nations wield soft power through movies, literature, and even food. Hollywood, for instance, has been a cornerstone of America's soft power. From superhero blockbuster to rom-coms, these films project American values of freedom, justice, and individualism to a global audience. And there is South Korea. Through K-pop and drama, South Korea has transformed its global image, attracting millions of fans and bolstering its economy and international influence. These cultural narratives not only entertain but also build emotional connection with global audiences. In the digital age, storytelling has become more decentralized. Social media platforms like TikTok and X allow anyone to craft and spread a narrative. While it democratizes storytelling, it also amplifies propaganda, misinformation, and polarization. During the Arab Spring, social media became a platform for narratives of freedom and revolution. Hashtags and viral video mobilized millions and reshaped the geopolitics of the Middle East. China too has entered the digital storytelling game. It uses platforms like TikTok to showcase its infrastructure achievements and promotes its Belt and Road Initiative. These carefully projected stories aim to position China as a benevolent global leader. While storytelling is powerful, it's not without challenges. Competing narratives can clash, leading to geopolitical tensions. For instance, the US narrative is a free and open Indo-Pacific directly counters China's story of harmonious Belt and Road Initiative. Similarly, India and China have contrasting narratives over their border disputes. While India frames its action as protecting sovereignty, China portrays itself as reclaiming lost territories. These conflicting stories shape not just bilateral relations but also how other nations view these conflicts. Another challenge is maintaining credibility. When stories are exposed as manipulations or propaganda, they lose their power. This is why transparency and authenticity are critical in age of fact-checking and global scrutiny. So what does future hold? As technology advances, storytelling in geopolitics will evolve. Artificial intelligence will craft personalized narratives, Virtual reality will immerse audiences in geopolitical scenarios, and data analytics will refine how stories are targeted. But one thing remains constant: the need for compelling story. Whether it's a nation asserting its dominance, a people fighting for their rights, or leaders seeking to inspire, storytelling will always be at the heart of geopolitics. In the end, the world isn't just shaped by armies or economies, it's shaped by stories. The stories we tell define who we are, what we believe, and how we act. As nations rise and fall, it's their narrative that linger, influencing generations to come. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into geopolitical power of storytelling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comment section what's the most powerful geopolitical story you have ever heard. See you in the next video.